The moment you found this message was not an accident. Somewhere, behind locked doors and unanswered questions, a truth has already begun to unfold. Your soulmate's past lover is sitting in police custody, and the reason has sent shockwaves through everyone who thought they knew the story. But this isn't about revenge, and it isn't about punishment. It's about a hidden chapter that heaven refused to let stay buried forever. For so long, your soulmate carried a silent weight they never fully explained, smiling through moments that secretly drained their spirit. They tried to convince themselves that the past was over, yet every now and then an unexplained fear, an unexpected memory, or a restless night reminded them that something unfinished was still following them. Today, that shadow has finally been forced into the light. Don't skip. Because before this story reaches its end, you'll understand why your own life is connected to this incredible moment in ways you never imagined. Someone believed they had hidden every clue, but the truth has a remarkable way of finding its own voice, and the first piece of that puzzle has already appeared. The question is, who was really telling the truth all along? For a long time, your soulmate blamed themselves for things that were never their fault. They replayed conversations, remembered broken promises, and wondered if they could have changed the ending. But what they never realized was that another story was unfolding behind the scenes. Quiet decisions were being made. Secrets were carefully protected. Every lie required another lie to survive, until the entire illusion became too heavy to carry. Then came one unexpected moment that changed everything. A single conversation, a single witness. A single overlooked detail began pulling every hidden thread apart. The people who once believed appearances suddenly started asking impossible questions. The confidence of someone who thought they could never be challenged slowly disappeared. Your soulmate didn't even know these events were happening, yet heaven was already arranging every step with perfect timing. Isn't it amazing how what seems delayed is often being prepared beyond what human eyes can see? As fear replaced false confidence, those carefully hidden actions finally led to a place no one expected: police custody. Yet that wasn't the biggest surprise. The real shock wasn't where this person ended up, it was what began to surface after they could no longer control the narrative. Stay till the end, because the next revelation changes everything you thought this title meant. The truth waiting behind those closed doors isn't simply about justice. It's about a hidden blessing that has been quietly moving toward your future all along. Right now, while your soulmate may still believe they're carrying old scars alone, something extraordinary is already shifting beyond their awareness. Every painful memory that once looked like a setback is beginning to reveal itself as preparation for something greater. Sometimes God doesn't remove people immediately because their departure alone isn't enough. Sometimes the entire truth must come into the light so every chain connected to the past can finally break. Imagine discovering that the chapter which caused years of confusion was secretly leading toward the person who would restore peace instead of taking it away. That person may already be closer than either of you realizes. Your soulmate has been praying for answers they couldn't put into words, and those answers are arriving through circumstances no one could have predicted. Meanwhile, the silence surrounding this shocking custody case is growing heavier because every passing hour increases the possibility that another hidden detail could emerge. People are beginning to connect events that once seemed unrelated. Old conversations suddenly sound different. Forgotten memories now carry completely new meaning. The deeper investigators look, the clearer one astonishing reality becomes. What appeared ordinary on the surface concealed a story few would ever believe. Yet even with all these discoveries, the biggest revelation has not been spoken aloud. There is one final secret connected to your soulmate's future that remains hidden, and once it comes into the open, nothing about their journey, or yours, will ever look the same again. Something huge is waiting for you. The silence surrounding this unbelievable case has become louder than any headline ever could. Every passing hour is revealing another unexpected piece of the puzzle, and the people who once believed they understood the story are now questioning everything they thought was true. What seemed like an ordinary investigation has turned into something no one saw coming. Hidden conversations are beginning to make sense. Small details that everyone ignored now carry enormous meaning. Your soulmate still has no idea that a chapter they believed was permanently closed is quietly opening once again, but this time, not to bring pain. This time, it is bringing freedom. The weight they carried for so long is starting to disappear without them even realizing why. Sometimes, heaven waits until every missing piece is perfectly positioned before revealing the complete picture. That is exactly what is happening now. The most incredible part is that the truth isn't only exposing the past, it is protecting the future. Every delayed blessing, every unanswered prayer, every confusing goodbye suddenly begins pointing toward one breathtaking destination. And if you're still listening, you're witnessing the exact moment that destination starts becoming real. Don't skip, because the next discovery completely changes everything you thought this story was about. What happened inside police custody wasn't the ending, it became the beginning of the greatest revelation yet. Then came the moment no one expected. Someone who had spent so much time controlling the narrative suddenly realized they could no longer control the truth. The walls they built from silence started falling one by one. Every carefully hidden secret became harder to protect than the last. Those who once stood confidently beside them slowly stepped back, not because they were forced to, but because the evidence of reality became impossible to ignore. Meanwhile, your soulmate continued living their life completely unaware that heaven was removing obstacles they never even knew existed. Isn't it incredible how protection often happens before we recognize the danger? While your soulmate wondered why certain doors had closed years ago, God was quietly preventing even greater heartbreak. Now those same closed doors are beginning to look like miracles in disguise. Imagine discovering that every disappointment was actually divine direction. Imagine realizing that every painful goodbye was making room for the person and the future you were always meant to receive. That realization is much closer than anyone thinks. In fact, there is one hidden detail connected to this entire situation that has not yet reached your soulmate's ears, and when it finally does, every unanswered question from the past will suddenly make perfect sense. Stay till the end, because that final connection is unlike anything you've imagined. If this story is keeping you on the edge of your seat, take a moment to like this video, subscribe for more inspiring journeys like this, and share it with someone who believes every hidden truth is revealed in perfect time. Then tell us in the comments, what do you think the biggest hidden truth will be? Your thoughts might surprise someone else watching this story unfold. But here is where everything becomes even more astonishing. This story was never only about someone from your soulmate's past. It was always about what was waiting ahead. Every hidden event, every unexpected delay, every mysterious twist has been quietly preparing the path for a future filled with peace instead of fear. The past may have created questions, but it will never be allowed to define the ending. Even now, while the investigation continues revealing new layers, another unseen chapter is already being written, a chapter filled with restored hope, stronger faith, and opportunities that once seemed impossible. The remarkable thing is that your soulmate doesn't have to chase justice for it to arrive. They don't have to reopen old wounds for healing to begin. What belongs in the light always finds its way there, and what belongs in their future cannot be stolen by yesterday's shadows. Yet one final revelation remains hidden from everyone involved. There is a single truth connected to your soulmate's destiny that has not been spoken aloud, and when that moment finally arrives, every event you've heard in this story will connect like pieces of a breathtaking masterpiece. The ending isn't just surprising, it changes the meaning of everything that came before. And that final revelation is closer than anyone realizes.